Recently, I did a video about spanking, and yes, it was tongue-in-cheek. A lot of people didn't realize that. It is true that I am of the 20% of Americans who does not spank my children. I believe that children are either hungry, tired, lonely, bored, or sick. And it's a matter, as the parent, it's your responsibility to be ready for those things, to care for the child's needs. And when you do that, guess what? The kids don't misbehave, because misbehaving, all it is them sending a signal to you. If they're grouchy, they're talking to you, or they're hitting something, guess what? They're hungry. They're tired. They're lonely, bored, sick, and they don't have the emotional intelligence to tell you, the parent, that. Okay? So the video was tongue-in-cheek. I was like, help me to know what to do. My kids don't get in trouble at school. The teachers send notes talking about how well-behaved they are. But should I still spank them? You know, and so it was tongue-in-cheek. And again, a lot of people don't realize that. So you might just now be realizing that. The truth was, yes, never have spanked my children. And yes, truthfully, they're so well-behaved that they win awards for it at their schools. That is a fact. But what's funny is, and what's interesting is, then what does that mean? Does that mean it's a coincidence that my children just happen to be good kids that don't need spanking? Or is it that I'm onto something? That there's no such thing in theory as a misbehaving child. You have a child that is, say it with me this time, hungry, tired, bored, lonely, sick. And your job as the parent is to be ready for those needs, because they're not emotionally intelligent enough to tell you, hey, I'm hungry, etc. What inspired this sequel is I was reading through the comments on the video, which the video I made was called, Should I Spank My Kids for Being Hungry, Tired, Bored, Lonely, or Sick? And someone commented, I'm reading an excerpt of it, it says, quote, no, you shouldn't spank your kids if they are doing good in school and not getting into any criminal trouble. End quote. So just stop there. And I received another comment like that basically too. If the child is doing well in school and they're not misbehaving, then no, you shouldn't. But see, to me, it forces us all to reckon with this question. Is it a coincidence that my children are well behaved? I just happen to have two kids that are very well behaved. Now granted, they're kids. They act like kids. But as far as misbehaving, see, that's my whole point, is that it's a perception issue of what is misbehaving. You know, acting out. That's something we all agree is the term. Oh yeah, the kid's acting out. Exactly. He's acting out, or she is acting out because of blood sugar issues, because she's hungry. He's hungry. They need a nap today. Or you've been very busy today and haven't been able to spend much time with them, and they want somebody to play with. Or they have you in the room, but they don't have anything to do and they're bored. Or they've got a temperature, or they're throwing up. They're not feeling well, and maybe they haven't thrown up yet, but you're about to find out they are. Why are they acting so crazy? One of those 5 things. So I submit to you, and please know, in the end, I don't care whether you spank your kids or not. I'm a libertarian. I don't care what you do. What you do does not affect me, and I don't care. That's how I look at everything. I don't care. It's not my life. But is it a coincidence? Is it a coincidence that the man who claims that kids in theory don't misbehave, but instead they have physical and social and psychological needs that you as the parent need to cater for, the guy who says that has kids that are well behaved, and specifically notes come home saying your child is one of the most best behaved, well-behaved children in my class. And that happens repeatedly. Is that a coincidence? Is it a coincidence that I've never spanked them, but instead I've catered to their needs? Or are they just good kids? It's a challenging question, because if you say, well, okay, Nick, maybe you are onto something. Okay, I get what you're saying. If it's true then what about for other parents? If they adopted the same model and started caring for their child's 5 basic needs there, instead of resorting to that because they deserved it because they were misbehaving. Well, in theory, am I onto something? Could this be something that other parents could do? Or no, it's just coincidence, right? You be the judge in the comments right here.